Will, how do you sum that one up?
I think when you dig yourself in holes, it's tough, especially against good opponents like them. But I thought we were a little bit braver in the second half, pressed a little bit more and created more turnovers for them, and then ultimately some chances. It was good for us to score early in the second half and then be able to try to put more and more pressure. And as you saw, like by the end of the game, there was a lot going on. I mean, obviously they had a couple maybe clear ones on the counterattacks, but for the most part, we did a good job of trying to put the pressure and trying to score.
How do you feel? Do you feel like you can take a lot of positives out of this one?
Yeah, I think Eric talked about it after the game too. I think he said it's very clear that the elements that were good in this performance are what are going to take us forward. The intensity, the pressure, the bravery, the consistency of trying to win the game, pushing forward. And like I said, if you start the games that way and play the 90 minutes with subs coming off the bench, we have a great chance of winning the next 5 games.
I know you weren't in there, but what did you think were the defensive issues in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, I think look, they're a good team. They look to play balls beyond our lines, and when we're not tracking runners or communicating very clearly with how their movements are, they can exploit you. And I think certainly the first goal was that way. And the second one, similarly, it's plays where if we're late, they exploit gaps and they can finish. They have quality. There's a reason why they're one of the best teams in the league. So I thought we were just a little late on communicating and a little bit late on executing those plays.
Tactically speaking, what did the changes at halftime do for you?
I think a little bit of just freshness, right? Like Sungbin for Bongi is not a huge change, like for like. I think Carlos and I similarly. It's also thinking about it's a three game in a week, which is busy. So it's really just getting fresh legs to keep the energy high. And then ultimately you bring Tanny on, and that's a little bit more of a forward-thinking approach in the sense of 2 strikers. So you could see it very clearly as we're gonna try to push and tie the game.
What was the message at halftime? Obviously, when 3 subs come in, you mentioned it's a 3-game week.
Yeah.
2-game week, but when that's big of a change, it kind of comes with is there a shock? What's going on in the locker room?
No, I don't think anyone was shocked by it, because if you think about what we're trying to do, if you're changing shape, if you're adding different pieces, it's good to do that at halftime where you can talk the most about it, right? And again, Eric, and I don't think anything was performance-based, really. It was more just, here's freshness, rotation, and let's give it 45 minutes of all you can do.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
How did you kind of look at some of the defensive issues in the first half?
I think we did a good job of, stalling them a little bit, but we didn't quite get the building the press as well as we wanted to. I thought that was the difference in the second half. And obviously, as the game goes on, they'll get a little bit more complacent.
Second half, especially, you and Will are directing traffic. I see a lot of waving, a lot of yelling. What are you guys trying to do with that?
It's just communication piece. I mean, we trying to lead the guys in front of us, and also, keep pushing the tempo, keep pushing the belief in the team. I think that goes from all the way to the day and all the way to the front guys. So I thought the mentality was good to keep pushing and stay in the game.
What did you feel like was instrumental in the second half? Obviously, the PK was huge. What would you feel like you guys were able to try to do and have success with in the second half?
Even though the first half isn't quite what we wanted, we still had a couple of good opportunities. Yeah. So I think just the energy in the locker room was pretty positive, and we knew that we needed to make to keep pushing the envelope and keep bringing the energy in order to get a result.
Does it feel like there is some sort of opportunity, given Cincinnati's quality, even though you dropped 3 points at home, that there's a little bit of a asterisk or kind of other layer to it, given their quality?
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the best teams in the league, and they have been for a little bit now. So it's a pretty close game, and obviously we feel, not great, not picking up any points. So we can, take the positives and use that for the game on the weekend.
What was the biggest difference between the two halves in terms of what you were trying to do? The shape sort of changed around you.
Yeah, I mean, as the game starts, both teams are trying to fill each other out, and the goals that they score are just a couple little mistakes. And like I said, we had to push the envelope. In that type of game, it's our responsibility, being the losing side. And I think once we started doing that, we put them under pressure a little bit, and they started sitting back deeper and deeper.
What's kind of the message? It looked like Dan was very demonstrative and shouting at certain times, especially when there were scoring chances or goals in the first half. What's kind of the regroup when those moments happen?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's been, pushed by the coaching staff is, make sure, you're using your communication, be vocal and hold everyone to a certain standard. And obviously we have a great atmosphere, so you also have to yell a little bit to get the message across.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.